Hi, I'm Maureen Paraventi. Every year, about 22 million US workers are exposed to hazardous noise levels at work. That's according to the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, otherwise known as NIOSH. Now, in order to protect workers from noise that could cause hearing loss, it's necessary to know with accuracy what those noise levels they're exposed to are. So today I'm talking with Andy Bragg. Andy is SKC Director of Customer Support and Technical Sales Representative Southeast. That's a lot to fit on a business card. Now, SKC Inc. offers a full line of noise, and I'm always afraid to mispronounce this, dosimeter?
Dosimeter, that's correct.
Dosimeters.
Not dosimeter.
Okay, thanks. I got it. And sound level meters that are intuitive. Now, Andy, what makes them intuitive?
Well, technology, how the features and benefits in noise and sound equipment have come so far with regards to technology in the last few years. What we tried to do when we set out to design our products was we tried to take those features and add a few of our own and just make them more simple to access and make the data more simple to access. So for example, I'm giving away some of the information here probably ahead of time, but we use a green and a red button with a check mark and an X to really simplify how the unit operates so that somebody that maybe hasn't used it in a while will still be able to use it pretty easily just by knowing that green means go, yes, select, red means stop, no, or go back. And it makes it much simpler to do. And then in the calibration process, which a lot of times that's what people are intimidated by, is calibrating, whether it be a noise monitor, a gas meter, whatever. People are sometimes intimidated by calibration. Well, ours, the way we designed it, you just basically introduce the calibrator to the meter and it does all the calibrating itself and tells you whether it passes or lets you know if there's a problem. So I think that's what makes ours a little more intuitive. Our display has all of the information on one display, so the user can simply look down and see all the compliance information without actually having to change and go to different screens to get that information. So
now we are talking about the noise check dosimeter, correct?
That's correct. That's on the noise check, and our sound level meters are similar.
Now, the noise check not only provides those measurements, but it also provides a lot of data. So I've got a couple of questions regarding that.
Okay.
What kind of data? How is it made available to the administrator of the noise management program, and what should they do with it?
That's a great question. And actually, we could probably spend about 2 hours talking about data and how you can access it, what you can do with it. So I'm going to do my best to summarize. The first way we make that data accessible is actually on the noise dosimeter itself. So they can not only view the information when they're setting it up, so they can view all the parameters, and not to get too off in the weeds, but each of our noise dosimeters, our noise check, has 4 internal dosimeters. So they can do, for example, hearing conservation for OSHA, OSHA PEL, ACGIH, and customize one if they want to, or they can set it up for MSHA. So they can view 4 parameters at one time in the unit. We call those virtual dosimeters or internal dosimeters. So they can view all of that information on the screen while it's being set up or while it's running. We also give them the data or the information in the form of history. So at any time I can go to the history button and I can view something that I did 2 months ago or that I did yesterday. I can view that information and be able to see it, document it manually if I want to, but I can pull all of that off the screen without having to have access to a computer. The second way that we make that data accessible, which is a new thing with a lot of instruments, is by a mobile app. So we have a mobile app that certainly can work with iPhones or Droid-based platforms. And with that app, not only can you start, pause, and stop the unit from the app, but you can also view all the information that you can view on the instrument, you can view on this app. So whether it's the time-weighted average, the L average, the dose, the max, the min, any of that information, you can view it from the app without invading into the space of the worker that's wearing the dosimeter at that time. So that allows them to complete their task. It allows you to complete your task without, causing problems and getting a more realistic example of what they're doing. And from that app, you can actually send a full compliance report by text or by email, again, without accessing a computer. So if you're out in the field, you can get all that information. We've already formatted the report so it shows you the parameters of all of the activated dosimeters that you're using, but it also shows you all of the measurements and calculated information once the unit has been running. So then you can send that report automatically from the device. And then the last form would be via a PC app or PC software. Of course, the standard way, you can download the information to the computer. You can, modify that information, view the charts, view the graphs, and save that information to your computer for future reference if you want to. So that's 3 different ways that we give you access, and hopefully we've made it easy for anybody to use, even if they don't have a smart device, or if they do have a smart device, or if they have access to a computer, they can do it either of the 3 ways.
I think that's very significant that the mobile application is there because people are on the go. Not everyone is able to access the computer to manage the data.
That's exactly right. And that's one of the reasons we push so hard for it. We have certainly seen the pains that people have with not having a computer with a client or out in the warehouse and not having a computer and not being sure that they got the data they needed. Well, now they can view it real time, or they can view it after the fact through the history, because history is in the app also, not only on the device, but in the mobile app as well. So it is very valuable. And really today, we didn't really plan for this reason, because obviously this was before the pandemic, but for those reasons as well, we can stay away from somebody a little bit better. We can stay in excess of 6 feet if we need to, and still view what they're doing in real time without, again, getting into their workspace.
SKC offers 2 sound level meters, SoundCheck Connect and SoundCheck Essential. What's the difference?
They're very similar in operation, and if you looked at them separately, you really wouldn't know there's a difference, because they are in the same housing, if you will, same microphone, same look and feel. However, the big difference is the Essential, hence the name, is really designed to give you all the basics of sound level measurements out in the field. It is data logging. It does have software, so it is a pretty advanced meter on its own, but it's really designed just to be the basic of what you need to do your measurements, whether it be for engineering out in a warehouse or quick studies, or even in noise environments for law enforcement, for example. The Connect takes all of that information and then goes to the next level. We give you full and 1/3 octave band measurement capabilities. We give you Wi-Fi capabilities so that if you want to take advantage of cloud-based software that we offer, you can do that. We even offer a program database inside that helps you determine which hearing protection is best for the application that you are measuring. So it takes the measurement that you read or that you were monitoring for and converts it into a database inside the unit to help you determine the most ideal hearing protection. So that's the main difference. It's just they're both really good for basic measurements, but the Connect gives you that next level of capabilities and that next level of data for those that really want to look into the next aspect, and especially with regards to octave band measuring.
Let's talk accessories for just a minute. You mentioned the SoundCheck calibrator. How was that developed?
We took a lot of time with our acoustic check calibrator, because we were spending a lot of time with the dosimeter, making sure that calibration was easier. So it didn't make a lot of sense to make calibration easier on the dosimeter without making a good calibrator. So we made our calibrator nice and small and convenient, but probably most important, we made it to where you didn't need an additional adapter. It is made for our microphone, not only for the noise check dosimeter, but also both of our sound level meters have the same microphone diameter. So you simply put the microphone on you put the acoustic check calibrator on the noise check, and it automatically goes into the calibration mode, as we talked about before. And an important feature is it was designed to not only calibrate the device, but the communication between the acoustic check and the noise check also gives us the ability to tell you what the calibration or what the reading was before calibration, and then give you the adjusted reading after the fact. So now the user knows what the reading was as a post-calibration to their past study, but they also now have the new calibration information for their next study. Additionally, we designed it to give you 3 different decibel levels. I actually have one, and you can kind of just show there's 3 different decibel level shown on the device. So now for our standard noise check calibration of 114 dB, that's on there. And once you set it for that for the noise check, it always diverts back to that. But if you have somebody that knows they have a specific application where they would rather calibrate at a lower decibel level, we also have 94 dB and 104 dB on there as well. So they can use that to be more specific to their application.
What kind of training is required to be able to use these devices correctly, and where does that training come from?
That's something that we've all focused on, and especially during the pandemic, we've all gotten creative on training. So we have a great tech support team at SKC. So certainly you could email our tech support team. It's just skctech@skcinc.com, and they can help you by phone, certainly with maybe some basic training. We have videos on our website. We also have short videos on YouTube that we designed specifically for turning the unit on and off. And then there's another video for calibrating the unit. And then there's another short video for actual operation or downloading and operating the software. So there's individual videos, short videos for that purpose, so that you don't have to read an entire manual. You can hopefully see a short video and answer the question that you have a need for out in the field. But ultimately, I think that most training would be conducted by people like myself in the Southeast. We have other people across the country and across the globe, actually, that could come out and perform training on site to make sure that you not only knew how to operate it, calibrate it, but any additional features and insight into specific operation that you could do with the app or with the software additionally. But I think that most people, an industrial hygienist that is familiar with noise would most likely be able to figure it out themselves for the most part. But we certainly give several resources to help that training and make sure that the user is comfortable with it.
I don't know, the way you were describing the green and red buttons, I might even be able to do it.
I promise you could.
So you've gotten to meet people. What kinds of reactions do you get from industrial hygienists about SKC's noise monitoring equipment?
It's been really positive. And Maureen, I don't know if you've ever been involved in the manufacturing side of products. I've been fortunate to work for 2 different manufacturers, and it's a daunting task when you're creating a product and your real goal is that you want to please the customer. And certainly when you talk to customers, a lot of times they want things that you can do. Sometimes they want things you can't do. And it's a constant battle to push the envelope and try to produce exactly what your customer wants and try to see it from all angles. So it was a challenge, and we're extremely proud of the product. And since we started shipping it and getting into the hands of the customers, some of the things that we fought very hard for have really proven to be successful. And for example, people love, just like you mentioned, people love the red and green buttons. If they haven't touched the instrument in 6 months and they come back and turn it on, everything else kind of walks you through the menu system. We even give you confirmation screens to make sure that you mean to turn it off when you go to turn it off. And the larger display, people are really happy with the fact that not only can they see it without necessarily having to put on special glasses or whatever, they can see it, but it also gives them all of the information on one screen that they can view. So it has been, the feedback has been good. We've had several repeat customers, and for me, as being in sales most of my career, a repeat customer is the best proof that the product is good, or else they wouldn't be coming back again. So, and we've even won a couple of awards already. So we're happy. We're happy about that. We won some new product awards, including one in Asia, as a matter of fact.
You waited until now to mention the awards? I would have led with that. And is there anything else we need to know about SKC Inc. or SKC Inc.?
Well, I think we're very happy. A lot of people don't know that we have been in the noise dosimeter and sound measurement business for years, for decades. We've been a leader. It's just now that we have manufactured our own products for sale in the market, and we're very happy. We've got a very qualified tech support, customer support team, and of course our team out in the field is always ready to come out and service the customer however they can. But anyway, it's a great product, and I really appreciate the opportunity to have this chance to talk to you, because certainly noise measurement And hearing protection, as you said in the early part of the presentation, is a vital part of everyday business. And we need to make sure we're doing everything we can to make the protection of people's hearing as easy as possible.
Absolutely. Well, I've been talking with Andy Bragg. Andy is SKC Director of Customer Support and Technical Sales Representative Southeast. SKC Inc., as you've heard, offers innovative solutions in the industrial hygiene and occupational safety space. For more information about SKC products, just go to SKC Inc. Got that? SKCinc.com. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much.